Good morning here, YouTube people. What is going on with you all today? Well, I'm here again in my favorite spot. It's a really quiet morning/afternoon, and I'm feeling very well. I'm finally starting to get away from this cold. It's really difficult with the weather the way it is. Morning times are like cold, not even mild. They're like cold. And then the afternoons are cool but cold because of the wind. The wind is terrible. You know, with the wind chill, it actually makes it cooler. So you could call it cold. If you're in the middle 40s like we have been, it you know, with the wind chill the way it is, it's like the high 30s, which is terrible to me. And sometimes even lower 30s, closer to the evening hours. So, you know, it's all in how you make it. I still, you know, love it. It's a beautiful day today. No rain clouds in the sky, which is another thing. We had so many rain clouds here the last few days that it was just terrible because the sun isn't able to come out and warm things up. And, you know, you just stay one steady temperature and then it drops when it gets dark because the sun ain't out. And, you know, it becomes really terrible. And we're already almost halfway through with April. And usually by mid-March, it starts warming up and everything's getting better and that. But we're already almost in the middle of April and it doesn't look like it's warming much of anything up. We've had a few hot days, but not enough to speak of. I hope that this summer goes a lot better. But who could say, you know? Who could really say? Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you all about today is transformation. I have been through, this will be my 5th transformation right here. Some people only go through one transformation in their life and they're fine. But me, I have gone through 5 now. And this last one was a doozy. It was a doozy, but I am very thankful for it. And I had to level up to some degree. Everything may look good on the outside, but it isn't always as good. And roses and buttercups, it's not like that, you know? You can feel like you want to feel. But at the end of the day, are you truly feeling it or are you just capping? I mean, either way you look at it, it is what it is. And you have the ability to make it whatever it is that you want to make it. You can write your own story. You could erase that whole story and rewrite your story and do it over and over again. But at the end of the day, what is actually the best thing for you, and go with that. So how did I transform? Well, I didn't just sit around feeling sorry for myself, acting the victim, acting like, you know, who cares about anybody else but me? No. I still conducted myself the same as I always have, but in a different light. I was shown what it is that I need to do to accomplish what it is that I need, or where it is that I needed to get to. And the only way I could do that is just pray, read my Bible, and listen. Listening is 80% of it all. Just listen. You know, sometimes people just they talk a lot and they don't do anything. You know, you're just speaking for no good reason, just to hear yourself speak. But me, I did a lot of listening. I've always been a real good listener, and people have told me that in my life. So, you know, I've been a good listener, and I listened. I looked for signs, and the miracles started happening in my life, and they're still happening right as we speak now. They're happening, and all I can do is be grateful and thankful for all of this. And for a few experiences in my life, I'm very thankful for them. Do I care to go back to them? No. But I'm still very thankful for them. They actually gave me an eye-opening experience that I would never, ever try to give up. You know, I'm not going to be down on myself. Oh, woe is me. Everybody's on me. Everybody's after me. Everybody talks about me. No, I don't care. If people are talking about you, it means that you're on somebody's mind. And that's a lot better than nobody talking about you at all. True or not? Yeah. Because if people don't talk about you, it means they don't care about you. But when they're talking about you, it means they care a lot about you. So always remember that. But with my transformation, this last one, I know that I have been transformed into the complete person that my Father had created me to be, and taking the steps forward to doing all of that as we speak, or as I speak anyway. But you know, it has a lot to do with energy, as I said before. If your energy is bad, nobody's going to want to be around you. Like I said, I used to sit in one place for a long, long time, and that, you know, basically homeless life, blah blah blah. I didn't want to converse with other people. I didn't want other people around me. I just didn't want any of that. But I needed that isolation time. I needed to isolate myself because I had a lot of negative energy around me. If you know anything about homeless people, not including myself, and there are a few of them out there, but most of the homeless people are very negative. They're always like a big downer, you know? And a lot of it has to do with the drugs they do and things like that. You know, they don't have an uplifting word within them. It's just about, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. And, you know, it's really a downer, and I just didn't want to be around that. So I isolated myself. I sat alone. I did whatever I needed to do to get out of my situation. And, you know, I was down to a certain degree because I didn't want to be in that homeless situation. I didn't want it at all. I was like, man, how can I get out of this, you know? And I asked my Father 100,000 times. And finally, sitting and listening, I got a word from him. This is what you need to do, Danny. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And so I started doing it. Well, gradually, It wasn't like overnight. It was gradually. It started coming to me. This is what I need for you to do. I'm going to send people to you for you to try to decipher who is right in your life and who is not. Who needs help and who doesn't need help. Or who needs help and you cannot help them. And I had to do all of that on my own. He let me decide which ones and which ones not to help at certain times. And in doing so, I was learning, but I was also building myself to be the new me. And now I'm not 100% finished. I'm not the finished product, because we always learn. We always learn. And so I'm a lot better of a person now than I used to be. And, you know, I always considered myself not a bad person, but because I was allowing people to use me as a doormat, basically, I wasn't speaking up for myself. I was just allowing people to do whatever it is they wanted to do and not coming back with, hey, I'm not going to allow you to do that. You can't do that in my life. I was just allowing it to happen. And now I do not allow that to happen. It's just not going to happen anymore. And so I continually prayed about it. And I did go through some fast here. I mean, being homeless, you would think, you know, you might go without food for weeks upon weeks, but you could sit for 2 to 3 hours without something to eat, sure enough. But be sure that where I'm at right here, there is food coming. Somebody will come along and give you food. Somebody will come along and give you water and Cokes and juice and things like this. Somebody will come along and give you money. It just happens over and over and over again. And mainly it's because of my father. But like I said, since this transformation here, I had met women 2-3 years ago. And mostly women. There are a couple of guys that have said something to me, but mostly women. And they say, you look totally different, you look super great, and you actually look like you're shining and glowing and positive, and there's nothing negative that comes out of your mouth, and we are so proud of you. And even that is somewhat of a pat on the back to me. It's like, I didn't realize that people actually seen that in me. In the street I used to sit at, even in some of my videos, that one street, I had people tell me that they knew I was cleaning up over there. I cleaned the whole sidewalk and everything. There was never any trash over there. Now, they paid people to do that, but they were not doing it like I did. There wouldn't be a cigarette butt or anything on the sidewalks or anywhere. I just kept it super clean. And people actually noticed. And they said that they knew I was doing it. I was like, wow, you actually knew that? Yes, we did. And so many people in the nail salon and things like that, they said to me, you're the best person that I've met out here. by far. And then the people in the nail salon, since I haven't been over there any longer, they said that many of their customers come in and ask, where am I? Where is he? Where is he? And still, they want me around them. And it's funny, but I actually have magnetism. People are drawn to me. And I think that's great. I do. I believe that's super great. For me, it feels good. It feels good to be wanted. It does. It feels good to be wanted. Because at one point in time when I got off of the plane, I felt so unwanted. Like, hey, get away from me. You know, that type of feeling. And I didn't want that feeling. But now, everybody that goes up in the nail salon that used to speak to me or whatever, they're saying, where is he? Where is Danny? They know my name because they would come up and introduce themselves to me and ask me what my name is. So I would tell them. Now they're coming over and they're saying, where's Danny at? I haven't seen him in a month or 2 months. Where is he at? What is he doing? Blah, blah, blah. And it actually feels good to be wanted. But to get back into this transformation, it took me. It only took me. But I had to be serious about what I was doing. I had to put in the time, the work, the effort. It had to work through me. Because if I was just going to sit there like a bump on the log, that's what I would become, a bump on a log. And nothing more. But it took me taking the time out to change everything that was going on with me. Everything that I used to be is like no more. People from my past, even my family members, they would not recognize me internally as the Danny they used to know. They would not. They would not recognize me. And that's just plain true. And I feel 100% better about that. I would never change it for the rest of my life. The people that even wronged me, I am thankful that they came into my life because it helped change me forever and ever. And I will never be the same person that I used to be. Never. Because that person was inactive. And me, now, I am 100% action. There is no denying it. There's no denying it whatsoever. And people have noticed. And I was so surprised at how many people have noticed. They said, boy, you got such a glow about you. You look 100% better. What are you doing? What is it that you do to gather that? And I just smile and say, believe. I believe my Father can get me out of this. I believe that I am already where I need to be. And nobody can change that belief system in me. Nobody. The devil can try all he wants to. But it ain't gonna happen. It ain't. Anyways, it causes you to be what the earth calls unstoppable. I am unstoppable when it comes to that. You can't disappoint me anymore. I can't disappoint you. Because either you matter to me or you don't matter to me. And if you don't matter to me, I still love you. Sure enough, I love you because I love my enemies right down to the core. But it doesn't matter to me what you try to do to me. Doesn't. So anyway, I want you to know that I love you. I love you right there. Love yourself. Love my Father God, and by all means love each other, people. Until the next time, love, peace, and soul.